Hey there, garden fans, and welcome back to the Permaculture Homestead. I was out here picking some fruit for the day, and I wanted to give you all just an idea of the average, amount of fruit that we pick off of our blackberry and blueberry and raspberry bushes. It's starting to decrease a little bit. We haven't been over picking or anything, but I did get our first zucchini for the season out of our own yard. That's been kind of nice. So that's for dinner. And of course, I've been saving chamomile flowers. I love chamomile, it's a great tea, and I've started to save up quite a bit. But this is just a start, and these blueberries and blackberries are coming off of plants that are just barely a year old. So with all the extra stuff that I've added, I'm really curious to see how much more fruit I'm going to get in the years to come. But the yard is really starting to look like a jungle, and I just wanted to give you a quick walk around with a little bonus clip at the end of this. Everything's looking good. We can see now how in another year or two we might have an overabundance of food, provided things keep going the way they're going. Off of 3 blackberry bushes, like I said, we're getting about a bowl of fruit every day. Chia is coming up. It'll be nice to watch the life cycle of chia. I've never seen it grow. Our tomatoes, even though we hate tomatoes, both of us, I'm growing tomatoes just for the, maybe we'll make some sauce. The goji berries are starting to get real tall. They're healthy. The basil, looking good. More goji berries, looking good. All the goji berry I got out here are really starting to grow up quick. So they've established themselves, and they're really blowing up and blowing out, so that's been good to see. Eventually there'll be a nice hedge of goji berry here. Trimmed back my Elysium, and I got some more Elysium, so the pollinators are pretty happy with that. It's nice to watch those come and go. The apple polyculture it's abundant right now. Lots of green beans, and I've put spaghetti squash in here. So they're really starting to bush out. A lot of spaghetti squash. In fact, this is the healthiest patch of vegetables I got in the yard right now. It's surprising to see how well things have done, even though I've grown in succession. Some parts are looking a lot healthier than others. This is kale that I've actually cut back. And what's happened is I'm getting new growth off of the old wood from last year. So free kale, free collards, didn't have to plant any of those. I'll probably replant some for the winter, just so I got some fresh plants. The muscadines are coming in. Let me see if I can find some here for you. Here we go. And this guy it's full of muscadines. So we're going to have a lot of muscadines here by the end of summer. It's a summer fruiter, so let me keep going through here. Lots of muscadines, folks, lots of muscadines. And I got 2 of these. Here's another one right here. And this is only a year old, so I'm just really excited to see this much growth, this much production. There's even some up in that apple tree. The apple tree didn't produce at all. It flowered this year, but not a whole lot. And it didn't produce anything, so I'm hoping next year when it comes time to spray it preventatively for pests, I'll be able to give it a natural fertilizer and stimulate it to want to fruit a little better. Elderberry patch is going good. This veggie patch here that I planted, it's the worst part of all. It hasn't really gotten much growth. I'm getting some squash vinage. This is an acorn squash. I've got another spaghetti squash here. There's some radishes in there that I've been harvesting, and there's another zucchini right here. But this whole patch was the first patch I planted pretty much right after our last frost date, and it didn't do well at all. However, this patch over here, maybe it's just that it gets more sun, it's done way better. And the plants seem to have gotten bigger in a shorter amount of time. All the black seed heads are on my buckwheat. So the buckwheat's about time to harvest and gather some seed. Those will die back and they'll make a great humus for the soil. They'll make a good mulch as well. But I'm getting squash and zucchini over here. They're doing well. I got a row of the purple green beans. Have been interesting to watch. Let's see if I can get you a good view of those. I got some better looking ones on the other side, but I'm gonna have lots of green beans, gonna have lots of squash, storable squash. The elderberries are actually starting to throw out some flower heads on a couple of these guys. So I'm guessing this elderberry patch will give me some production. I mean, in the first year, I didn't expect it. However, I did chop all those cuttings from year-old wood, which is the right age for elderberry to fruit. Here are some of those purple variety green beans, and they are purple. I mean, I don't know if you can tell there with just that photo. The plant itself is even a little purple. It's darker. The stems are very dark. The fruit is purple. Looks good. Here's the zucchini plant I harvested from. It's really kicking it well. But, you know, all the annual stuff, it's doing well. The perennials seem to have gotten established. And like I said in one of my prior videos, I'm starting to add more. I've added more blackberries. I'm adding, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm up to like 7 blackberry bushes here now. And, if I'm getting as much production off of 3, I'm really curious to see how next year is going to be when I've got like 7 or 8 of these things. The potato buckets, leaves are just now starting to turn yellow and fall over on me. They're getting plenty of water, so I know that means it's almost time to harvest these guys. Stay tuned for a video on that. The first elderberry here that I've got, it fruited, it flowered, and now it's starting to set some fruit. So all these little berries here are going to eventually get nice and brown and purple, and they'll be antioxidant rich. And we're going to do lots of videos on elderberry. If you know me, then you know I love elderberry. A couple more things I want to talk about. Don't want to make this thing a mile long. The herb boxes are full and looking good. In fact, my lemon balm is starting to flower. Echinacea is coming up. My oregano is going to flower. The bees seem to really like the oregano. I've let all my lettuce go to flower so that I can reharvest seeds. It's been my goal to start a little seed bank of everything that has been growing well. So this is going well. The beautyberry that I've added has really established and it's showing me new growth. Elderberry cutting I put back there is also looking good. This muscadine grape hasn't really shown me much in the way of fruit, but I'm not going to panic yet. Ian, you weren't joking about that loofah, dude. So I think the last update it was only about yay high, and it's about to the top of the fence here. That's a 4-foot privacy fence, man. It's getting there, buddy. It jumped up quick. The bees are still really bearding hard and heavy. I've provided them more space. I keep giving them more ventilation, and they're still wanting to beard up. It is about 90 degrees. Here's one. I'm going to end this video on the passion fruit. Finally starting to see some passion fruit, guys. And these things are beautiful looking. Oh my gosh. As if the flowers weren't gaudy enough, the fruit is starting to look really good. In fact, the passion flower and passion fruit here is just getting out of hand. The small trellis I built for it is just totally overwhelmed. I don't know if you can see that with the shading, but let me show you some more fruit. I mean, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There is a lot of passion fruit on here. 8. And I will be saving and harvesting seeds off these, so keep in touch, guys. Passion fruit has been a real nice volunteer. I'm so happy to see these, and I'm not going to have any problem saving and storing passion fruit and passion flower and the seeds and everything. Just want to give you all a quick update today. I feel like I need to do one of these things, more than every week because things are changing a lot here during the summer. But I hope everything's growing well with you. I hope your garden is doing good. And I hope you're just getting excited about growing food. I mean, it's a great way to supply yourself with a perennial food source. You know, quit relying on the commercialism, guys. It's time to be a little more self-sufficient, America. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. And God bless. You're below 2 inches below the ground. That's where I was. You're this much below the ground. No. Yes, it's